Hi, my friend. I'm Pat Sloan. I hope you had a wonderful, relaxing Easter weekend. I did. I got to see my family. It was not so weather great, but it was okay. We had a really nice time. Small family, just the four of us, my dad, his wife, Greg, and I. And so today I am breaking into the donut shop peeps. Yeah, got to put them in my coffee. So here, look. So I put, whoops, there we go. Got one in there floating around. Oh, that marshmallow in your warm drink, divine. You've got to do it. You've just got to do it. So I have to show you a quilt from the vault because I needed to change my shamrock quilt out that's hanging, going up the stairs, and I realized, I needed to find something that right size. And I was looking around, and I found the quilts from the vault, a bunny quilt. Ta-da! This is way back in the vault. The label says 1997. It is hand blanket stitched. And I did the quilting and I quilted it a whole lot, which I love. Lots and lots of quilting, and I added these flowers. The pattern, the bunny, I think is Jan Paytek. So you can go look on her website, see if she still has it, if it's hers. If not, it was Linda Brannick, who passed away many, many years ago. So we have today the block number 4 of Be My Neighbor. So I will be switching and put that up here in a little bit. Quilts for Ukraine and the Midnight Moon. So I want to talk through Midnight Moon a little bit more about how I'm going to approach it, since I'm probably not going to do 6 blocks a week every week. Some weeks I might make it, some I might not. So I just want to talk through that whole process and show you what I'm doing. Oh, the marshmallow is so good. Oh, I also have a mail call. Let's do the mail call first. Then we'll do the quilts for Ukraine. So first of all, I got this super, I can call it Happy Mail from Darlene in Nebraska. She sent me this wonderful note, told me and a wonderful Starbucks card. Thank you, Darlene. So I can fill those coffee cups up. But she also told me a bit about the projects that she's worked on of mine, a lovely note. And she was in Germany about the same time I was as a kid. So that's kind of cool. So let's see. Suzanne, who is one of our wonderful quilt ambassadors over at the group, she sent me some tools that she loves to use, which I tried these silicone thimbles, which she got at, I think she said the dollar store, one of the dollar stores, and then these sponges to get off your threads and everything. And then she also had some really neat, she knows I love very unique fabrics, novelty things, so there's some sign language fabric that I thought was really, really cool. I like unique, like you just put those little touches in there. Like I showed you the block for the Secret Lives of Color that had all those like images. It's fun to just tuck those in. Another wonderful note from Claire in Pennsylvania. Look how cute that is. And look what she made me. To put my coffee on, she said. Isn't that great? So I set it on. I do have these coffee mugs, mats, these little mats that I use. And then she had found a bunch of pre-printed labels. These are always wonderful. If you see pre-printed labels, here's these out there, you should pick them up because they don't come around that often. They're not printed that often. They're usually printed as part of a fabric collection. And so anytime that you can look how neat they are. There's a whole bunch of different styles on this one. Whoop. So if you see them, pick them up. And then Brenda, who is also one of our ambassadors and a wonderful gardener, she sent me some of her favorite little gardening books because that I'm trying to figure out some new flowers to move around since, the deer are eating mine in the front now. So thank you. Mwah, mwah. Thank you, everybody. These are just fabulous. Okay, let's talk about the quilts for Ukraine. I have got 2 of the sets of blocks done. So there's 8 blocks and I'm mixing them up. Now what happened is I had a little problem, and let me just show you that. Let me show you how I have this organized for doing the rest of the blocks. I've done 4, so this Monday I'm doing the next 4, and I had run out of this fabric that I was using for the stars, so I ordered some more, but I didn't order enough. So I decided that instead of ordering more, because I already have I have 4 made I don't know, I just don't want to wait. So I have this, which is lighter, but I think it's still going to be cool to have a couple of stars done with this, as it's all in the outer points. It's out here. The inner will all be this same one. So I can do one star in this in one row, one star in another row, and then I may go and remake and make another star out of this color combination, the first one, and then I'll have one in each row and just sprinkle them around. And because I think it'll be cool. I mean, it's just going to be what it is. But I can't believe I didn't order enough. I meant to order. Oh, well, there you go. That's the way it happens. So I had to cut some of these now for the big star points. So what I've got is the sets. So there's 4 sets, and one of them will be the other coloration, and same over in this pile. And these are the strips for the corners. For the 4 corners here, I've got these strips done, and then all the other parts. This is the small star and the center of the star, you know, the blue part. So I am ready to go now to do another 4 blocks, and maybe go ahead and cut an additional block from that first set of fabric. So I think that's what I'll do. So I am getting that block done now. I am getting a new one. So here it is, with the lighter portion. So I'm getting that one replaced, but up on the wall are the other, there's 4 of the one kind, but I will switch one out. And so I'll have one extra block, which I could either do another single, or I could just put it on the back, or something. I'll do something with it. But as I'm going along here, I'm also trying to be sure that I keep organized. And so I want to show you this other little clip I did while sewing these. I'm sewing these in sections. So I thought, oh, I will do the sides first, and then I'll come over and do the tops and the bottoms with these sections. Remember, now I have one that is different, so I want to be sure all of these light ones go with the same star, so they're not all mixed up. Now they go pretty fast once you get kind of organized about it. That's what I'm finding. But I also find that because I tend to do one block at a time, I don't sort of chain piece as often, because I'm not using the same fabrics in all the blocks as often. You know, usually I'm changing fabrics each block. But when I'm doing these, because a lot of the fabrics are, you know, the block is the same, the fabrics are similar, you know, so I can keep track of them. It's really fun. It's fun to set them up and have sort of that rhythm and that motion. I figure by the time I'm done all the blocks, I will have a method down, and then I don't have any more blocks I need to do. That's just the way it goes. Okay, so when I put a call out for a quilt from a blue and yellow quilt to go to one of our friends' family, bringing refugees in from Ukraine, their family, I have one response, which is absolutely fabulous. We're trying to get everybody connected. If anybody else has one, let me know. And it's to go to somebody in North Carolina, and they'd like it to be one of the blue and yellow ones. So that's, just wanted to give you an update. I'm taping this, you know, a little prior, so we may have already been connected by now. Also, I have 2 different people and our friends here in the community sent me information about what they're doing for Ukraine. So I thought that I would share whenever I can find something a little bit more, you know, unique. So first of all, I have Iris, who did her Stand for Ukraine quilt. Her friend Connie quilted it, and she made it from a jelly roll. And so she did a jelly roll with it, and there's no batting. She backed it with fleece instead, so it'd be nice and cozy. And she also used the jelly roll strips for binding. And the backing of it represents the Ukrainian flag with sunflowers, of course, which is their national flower. And that's wonderful, Iris. Then Monica in Austria sent me a note that she and her friends are making baby quilts that they're sewing for mother and child parcels. So they're putting together packages to be given to the mothers. They have a pharmacist friend that puts these together with other equipment and things that are needed by the mothers. And then they're taking them to the borders for the refugees. So they're getting them out there to the people as a sort of package, a care package, which is just so fabulous. Thank you to everyone who is making quilts, making a difference, donating. We now have Ta-da! $222,610 donated by the Quilters for Ukraine. By you. You and you and you. It's just, you are phenomenal. Mwah! So makes my heart so proud of all of us and all of you. Okay, let's talk about, we got Midnight Moon or Be My Neighbor. So let's do Be My Neighbor. I've got to take the quilts down. No, the quilt blocks. Put the quilt up. So you see mine hanging up there today rather than me holding it up. This is Be My Neighbor block 4. As mine has gone along, you can see I use the roofs of everything, and down here are the black polka dot. So this one has a double roof, which I think is so darling. And then I have this super cute Santas that I have with the little pointy hats. There's a neat plaid in here and a word text. So there's a little tip on this one. Just get your definition. Be sure that you have enough definition so that you can see the structure of this part against that part. You know, be sure that there's enough contrast that it doesn't blend away so your hard work isn't seen. Kind of like my sandcastle on the other one. And speaking of that, while we're over here, I will scan over there in a second. So here are all my blocks together that I got. So after we do this block, I will be making the rest of mine to finish up the quilt with all of you. So, so I love it still so much. So here is my By the Sea, which I am going to keep. Yes, I'm going to get it quilted. I contacted my friend Shelly Pagnelli, and so she will put me in line to have it quilted. So you are doing house number 4 by the next couple weeks, and then we will get to this one afterwards. Midnight Moon. Let's get our strategy down. For me, I want to know exactly like sort of a path so that I can kind of keep on track. I don't want to get really behind. That's a bad feeling. There are 6 blocks to make each week. Some weeks are a bonus blocks. I don't know what those will be or what those weeks are like. I don't have any insight to that yet. But this week, these are our blocks. They are shown in advance. We have a PDF with a list of everything, the dates they come out, all of that you can get at my project page, linked here and linked at my website today. But let's talk about the strategy. So I did 4 blocks last week. This week, I'm probably going to get 2 done for this week's. I always do something for the week, and then I'll see what else I can do. But the cutting is, I think, where I can improve what I have so that I get things all cut in the week and then see how much I can sew. And that way, when I have time, I can go back and sew things as I can fill in. I can even do that later at night, as long as it's all cut, because there's a lot of things like cut 3 3/4, and you need to sort of concentrate. And I want to cut, I think cutting them all at once will be better rather than coming back and reading the same direction over and over again to get to the block. So that just makes sense to me. So like for today, right now I am going to go sew the Fool's Puzzle. So I've grabbed out all the fabrics and I have my light already. I've opened the bundle, yes, and I'm using the alphabetties, which are these, so that I can put the letter down of what you're cutting. So you can see over here, it gives you what letter, so that I have 2 of the units already cut from the background. Now I'll cut the other fabrics so that I can make the block. And then the other block is on a different page, and that's the capital T. So my strategy here, I think I like this. I think it's going to work. We'll do it for a couple weeks here, but I will go ahead today and cut everything. I'm going to sew that 1 block so I can show it to you here today, and then I will also get one of the other block done. So I definitely have 1 of each block cut, done, sewn up, but I'm going to cut all 3 sizes. So wish me luck. Here I go. I am so excited. So here's what I have so far. I got them all on one of these big design boards. This is the block I just did, the Fool's Puzzle. Now this is the biggest size. So now you can see all 3 sizes, the big size, the medium, and the small. So each block has to be made in each size. Now I will do the T block, and I'll show it to you this week. You're probably going to see Midnight Moon often, even though the block comes up on Saturday, or the assignment, is to do on Saturday. I will be showing them, quite a bit, because will be how I'm working on them. Definitely loving the idea of cutting all the blocks at once. Then I can sew, even if it's late in the evening, like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I could still sew parts of the block, sew it while I'm sewing other things. So that is the way I'm going to go each week, is to cut all 6 blocks out. So I have for this week, at least my bare minimum is to get the rest of these ones cut for week 1 and 2. Okay, so you've got a plan. And the book that we're using is Summer Moon, and we're doing Midnight Moon in the Halloween colors. And I hope you also are going to keep all of these, because there will be cutaways, things you don't use. There's a bunch of these. These can be used in the setting blocks on some of them. So don't throw these out. Go ahead and sew them up and trim them to the size. You can look at the setting block in the pattern. You can see what size you need. So that is nice. You can get sort of those made up as we go along. And I might actually make a frame and put it on at some point. This week we have another block of Will You Be My Neighbor? We're going to be doing this guy and work on our Quilts for Ukraine. Thank you everybody for being here. It's a great kickoff for this week. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.